chance to hear it, so let her tell it. People on the streets say Sabrina speaks. Tune into the show, she will let you know. Tell all your friends and family. Real talk is no joke. You get the news straight up from grassroots and concerns. You hear some people gone. So tell all your friends to tune in to
Good evening, Cayman. I'm Sabrina Turner, and welcome to Sabrina Speaks, your daily dose of clarity, truth, and community insights. Every weekday from 5 to 6:30 p.m., we're tackling the issues that affect you, from national headlines to grassroots concerns. Whether you're in traffic or winding down your day, this is your chance to hear it straight and speak your truth. So buckle up, Cayman. We're not holding back.
This is the show. We gotta let you know. Now we got to go.
And now here's Sabrina.
Welcome, one and all. I am here. Yes, forgot to add myself in. What a mess. It's good to be back with you on this Tuesday. Hello, 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 one and all. Wakey, wakey. Good night, good morning, good evening, good afternoon to all of the Sabrina Speaks family, near and far. It's good to be back with you this evening, and welcome to another episode of Sabrina Speaks, Voices of the Islands, Conversations for the World, and the podcast where, yes, your voices rise, stories unfold, and inspiration is definitely taking center stage. I'm seeing it every episode as we continue to grow in this place, and we're definitely getting the love, and we're seeing the participation. Everybody is building it brick by brick, flower by flower, orchid by orchid, even girlfriend stories. I'm Sabrina, and I'm broadcasting live from the beautiful Cayman Islands. The Sabrina Speaks Live podcast is brought to you Monday to Friday from 5 until 7. And yes, we're one happy family. And that is why we're Voices of the Islands, and we have conversations for the world. We're not limiting ourselves at all. I see you coming in. Remember to don't forget to like, share, and follow. And please, 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 please tell a friend so that you don't miss an episode. And I know, based on the feedback that I got from yesterday's interview with those two gentlemen, oh my goodness, thank you for all of the love and kind words and encouraging messages that you shared. And those two gentlemen, they just blew the socks off. I really feel proud. And if you've missed yesterday's episode, please go back and look for it. Look at it, and you can hear what our future, get an idea of what our future looks like here in the Cayman Islands for our young men stepping into the tech world. And these are 16 and 17-year-old young men who I interviewed yesterday, and we're just talking about, their future, giving us an insight into how they have this God-given talent, this desire to share their knowledge in part. And some stark truths and realities were shared with us. I was just, again, with their maturity, how they articulated, how they delivered. I was so impressed, and I'm proud of them. So yes, but tonight is no different. Alfred is somewhere. So don't worry, he'll pop up somewhere. He will pop up somewhere. I see you guys. But yes, tonight we're diving into also something very powerful. If you've seen the flyer promoting this evening's episode, something, to be honest with you, that is pretty much overdue. And what I'm speaking about, I'm speaking about something that is directly to who we are as people of the Cayman Islands. Yes, and for the first time in our history, the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture and Heritage has actually declared the month of May. Yes, we're creating history here. They have dedicated and declared the month of May as of the of 2026 moving forward as Heritage Month. Yes. And that's going to be celebrated across all 3 islands. And this year's theme, Threads of Our Tradition. Yes. Yes. Now, this is more than just a calendar event. This is planned to be a national moment. And it is going to be a chance that allows all of us to pause, reflect, celebrate, and reconnect with stories, tradition, and cultural experiences and expressions as well that shapes who we are and that will continue to shape us. Yes. And importantly, the Heritage Month will now include the observance of Emancipation Day as well, which will be recognized on Monday, May 4th. Now, this is a defining moment in our history. Yes, a moment that really deserves prominence, respect, and definitely the truth. So we're going to be talking this evening about our identity. We're also going to be talking about culture, about Caymanian people, our stories, maybe even a little bit of our triumphs and our struggles, and definitely looking forward for our future. But this is history here in the making, so you don't want to miss it. We're going to be having a representative from the Ministry of Youth, Sports, Culture, and Heritage, who has been giving the task, who bears the responsibility of shaping the national narrative around this. And I'm so happy that I will be joined by a representative, Ms. Tunisa Barnes, later on in the show to tell us more of what we can expect and something that we look forward to. And I want you to participate because it's no fun when we're just here. And if you got some suggestions and ideas, since this is in the making, I would love to hear from you. Put your comments. You can WhatsApp us as well and share, join in the discussion. You're always welcome, as long as you keep it respectful, and we do our best to keep it on topic. But yes, later on in the show around 5:30, we joined by our guest. Thank you so much. We will be joined by our guest, Ms. Tunisa Barnes, who will be telling us so much more. But please remember that the content you're about to hear, including any discussions or opinions from myself, guests, and our participants, is intended solely for general informational and entertainment purposes. It's not a substitute for professional legal, medical, or financial advice. And I encourage you to consult with a qualified professional for specific concerns. Now, Bridge Media Limited and all of our affiliates disclaims all liability for any decisions or actions taken in reliance on the information presented. And again, if you don't know our number, guess what? It's 345-936-8255 to join in if you want to call in live, or you can send us a WhatsApp there as well. We will definitely get it. Or, my regulars, you comment on whenever you're streaming us live from right here. But it's good to be back with you this evening as we continue to build the space and to just get things going. Yeah, Abby is in the house, but I'll get to you because you know how we do it here. We do some housekeeping. I love to do the housekeeping. Let's get all the housekeeping out of the way, and then we give you time to share the link and invite your friends and let them know we're live, because history is in the making here today, and we're going to know what's in store for us for the entire month of May. It's not just a weekend. I'm hoping that you all don't plan to go away, but you'll be a part of history. And to tell us more later on in the show, we are going to be welcoming a representative. But let's see what's going on with our forecast. Yeah, it's hot out. OMG. Compliments of our friends over there at the Cayman Islands National Weather Service. Here's this evening's weather forecast and an outlook as well into tomorrow. The synopsis calls for moderate winds along with slight to moderate seas are expected over the Cayman area for the next 24 hours as a high pressure system remains established over the western Atlantic Ocean. Now, radar imagery show no activity in and around the Cayman area. The forecast for tonight is calling for fair to partly cloudy skies with a 30% chance of overnight showers. Temperatures will fall near the upper 70s. Winds will be northeast 10 to 15 knots with higher gusts. Seas will be slight to moderate with wave heights of 2 to 4 feet. The forecast for tomorrow is calling for partly cloudy skies with a 30% chance of showers. Temperatures will rise near the mid-80s with a heat index of 96. Now, winds will be northeast 10 to 15 knots with higher gusts, and seas will be moderate with wave heights of 3 to 5 feet. There will be a low tide at 6:57 this evening. Tomorrow, there'll be a high tide at 2:06 in the morning and another low at 8:54 a.m. The sun will set this evening at 6:43 and sun will rise tomorrow morning at 6:03. The outlook is calling for similar weather conditions through Thursday, with a decrease in winds and seas thereafter as the high pressure system weakens over the western Atlantic Ocean. And there you have it. That's your weather forecast for this evening. Now let's just get straight to it and go into what news is making today's Sabrina Speaks headlines. And this is not only here, but also international. Investigations continue into yesterday's robbery at a jewelry store on North Church Street, and police have now arrested a third suspect. Now, officers detained a 29-year-old Georgetown man at Owen Roberts International Airport today as he attempted to leave the islands. He remains in custody. Now, the arrest follows Monday's incident where two masked men armed with a baseball bat and what appeared to be a firearm, smashed display cases and fled with jewelry. A police pursuit into West Bay led to the arrest of two other men, aged 25 and 18, and officers later recovered jewelry and a handgun believed to have been used in the robbery. Now, anyone with information is asked to contact the Georgetown Cayman Islands CID at 345-949-4222. That's 949-4222, or you can always remain anonymous and go on, download the TIPS app for more information. Other news this evening, Customs and Border Control has confirmed the arrest of a 37-year-old visitor after a firearm was found in his luggage at the Owen Roberts International Airport. Now, officers recovered a handgun and ammunition during a search shortly after 2 p.m., and the man was arrested on suspicion of possessing an unlicensed firearm. He has since been bailed and investigations continue. Now, Deputy Director Garfield Wong says that the incident highlights the effectiveness of airport security and vigilance as CBC officers supporting the government's wider focus on good governance and public safety. Other local news this evening. Auditor General Patrick Smith has raised serious concerns about government's continued failure to act on a growing backlog of recommendations. A new report from the Office of the Auditor General shows 249 directives from the OAG and Public Accounts Committee remains outstanding as of March 15th, and no government minutes have been tabled since July of 2024. Smith says 90% of required government minutes have been late, calling it a significant breakdown in accountability. Now, the report highlights that 141 recommendations have been left unaddressed for more than 5 years, with 5 public bodies responsible for over half of the backlog. Despite this, the Auditor General welcomed the new strategy from the Deputy Governor's Office aimed at clearing the delays. The 5th meeting of the 2025-2026 session of Parliament will convene at 2 p.m. next Wednesday, April the 29th. Now, this final sitting of the session is expected to consider several key bills, including legislation relating to the Airports Authority, auditors' oversight, health practice, parliament management, and proceeds of crime. Members of Parliament will also address reports, parliamentary questions, and private members' motions. Now, the meeting will be broadcast live on CIG, YouTube, CIG-TV, and Radio Cayman. And the public may attend also in person with prior registration and security. Other local news this evening, if you still have that desire to join the Cayman Islands Regiment, well, guess what? Recruitment remains open until April 27th. And guess what? The Cayman Islands Regiment says that even while supporting the landfill response and recruiting new reservists, its focus has remained firmly on preparing for operational deployments. Now, training across March and April has centered on humanitarian assistance, disaster response, urban search and rescue, and medical skills, all delivered by the regiment's own instructors who have built expertise locally and overseas. Now, with lessons captured from their recent Hurricane Melissa deployment and storm season approaching, officials say that the regiment is ready to respond. Focusing right now on other news happening locally, and we'll hear more about this in our segment, but I got to get it out here. The Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture and Heritage, together with the Office of the Premier and the Ministry of Social Development and Innovation, will host Threads of Our Tradition gospel concert on Saturday, May 2nd at the Agricultural Grounds. Now, the free event runs from 6:30 until 10 p.m. and celebrates Caymanian heritage through music, fellowship, and community. International gospel artist Tasha Cobbs Leonard will headline, joined by the Cayman Islands folk singers and other local performers. Now, organizers say that the evening honors the story of who we are as Caymanians. And please note, this is a free event and we can all go out and definitely celebrate it. Let's turn our focus and attention right now onto international news this evening. The King and Queen were joined today by members of the royal family in a special gathering to remember the life and legacy of Queen Elizabeth II. Now, the private commemoration reflected on her decades of service, her role as the United Kingdom's longest reigning monarch, and her enduring influence on the Commonwealth. Senior royals attended the event, which formed part of an ongoing tribute honoring her late Majesty's commitment to duty, stability, and public service. Now, the royal family says her example continues to guide their work. In other news coming out of the UK this evening, as we wind it down here, a high court challenged against the Metropolitan Police use of live facial recognition technology has been thrown out. Now, the case is brought by youth worker Sean Thompson and campaigner Silky Carlo, who argued the system could be used arbitrarily and in discriminatory ways across London. But the judge ruled that the Met's policy is lawful, saying it provides clear guidance on when the technology will be used and does not breach human rights. Global Banking and Finance reviews both claimants, saying that they intend to appeal the decision as the government continues plans to expand facial recognition across England and Wales. And there you have it. Now let's take a look at our markets closing for today, April 21st. Global markets ended today, Tuesday, on a cautious note. In the United States, the Dow Jones edged down at 0.17%, while the S&P 500 slipped 0.3%, and the NASDAQ composite fell 0.25%, as investors weighed corporate earnings and inflation data. European markets also closed lower, with the FTSE 100 down just over 1% and the CAC 40 off nearly the same. Oil held near US a barrel at $89, while gold rose slightly to US 2,370 an ounce. Regionally, the Jamaican Stock Exchange closed mixed, and trading on the Cayman Islands Stock Exchange remained steady. Analyst says investors are staying cautious ahead of key economic reports later this week. That concludes and ends this evening news, local, international, and definitely your market report. We want to send happy birthday greetings going out to KK today. She celebrated a birthday. Yes, Miss KK celebrated her birthday, and lots of love from us here, huge supporter. And whether or not for you, many, many more to come. And to anybody else who is celebrating a birthday or a milestone or an anniversary, all of us, yes, from all of us here at the Sabrina Speaks family, we're sharing and sending all the love to you, wishing you many, many, many more. as you embark and wind down the day. How's it been going for everyone? And it's that time. It is that time. Share the love. We share the love. And of course, Connie Bonnie is on the ball today. She is, as she always is, sharing her passion, her love, and her beautiful pictures with us. Thank you for sharing those with us, Connie Bonnie. Yeah, let's see who's here. Good evening. It's good to have you with us. And look at the flowers that she's sharing with us today. Connie sharing these beautiful images with us today. They are so pretty. Oh my goodness. Connie, you are something else. And that was two. Which one did I miss? Did I miss one? No, I didn't. Yeah. So these are the flowers that you shared with us today. Thank you so much, Connie, for being a real superstar and sharing these as we uplift each other here in this space. It's so good to actually see what's going on here. And I hope that these images actually brighten someone's day. Thank you for being so loyal with this as well. So Connie's in the house. What are you saying? She's also wishing everybody a happy Tuesday. Well, I'm winding down my day in my sofa with some sugar cane. No, the orchids. Now the orchids this evening. No, the orchids this evening. Okay, well, whatever you're doing with your sugar cane, be careful with that. That's raw sugar you're putting into yourself. But yeah, enjoy it. Those are really good. Especially, I like mine cold. I don't know about you. I like mine cold. Cane. And I love coconut jelly. Yeah, but I don't drink the water. That's weird, isn't it? I'm a weird one. It is what it is. It is. I enjoy coconut jelly. Not a hard one either, unless it's coconut drops. But I like the jelly. Yes. I will just sit down and just do it. But don't get me to do this with the water. Oh God, no. I will get really upset. You were asking, Connie, where is Alfred? I don't know where he is. He comes up like a fluke. Every now and again, he's just dominating the airspace, and then he goes off. You know what? I think he's doing that deliberately, Connie. He's doing that so we can miss him. Miss him, and then you call him out. Good evening, Donnie. It's good to have you. Good evening, Abby, as well, my love. Always good to have you here. Let's see what Damien has in store with us for us this evening. He's saying, good evening, all. Often we imagine that we will work hard, arrive at some distant goal, and then we will be happy. This is a delusion. Happiness is the result of a life lived with purpose. Happiness is not an objective. It is the moment of life itself, a process, an activity. You're getting really deep here. You go, boyfriend. I liking you. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Damien. Thank you so much. Sending you Cayman warmth. And I know you're over in the UK and it's pretty late, but we thank you for your loyalty. We thank you for always being a part of this platform. We appreciate you, and you are loved just like everybody else. Yes, thank you for your contribution. You, Connie, Bonnie, everybody that comments. Where is Andrew? Where is Aliano this evening? Thumbs up, Lucille, Miss Lucille. Good evening. I am here. Blessings always. And to you, my love, another part of the UK group over there in the United Kingdom, staying up late watching us. Even if they fall asleep, they're going to let us know they're there. And we thank you for your loyalty and your dedication to the platform. Yeah. Connie agrees. Yes, it's cold in the fridge from a woman of my own heart. It's good. Jillian, thank you so much for the kind compliment. Exhale, my guest. We're going to come to you, my sweet. You'll be fine. Thank you so much for that, Jillian. Andrew, you're there. Blessed Tuesday to you as well, my friend. It's good to see you. And so is Annie. Good evening to you as well. Jim, where are you though? Jim is enjoying the scenery. If I had a view that Jim had, hey, you would hardly be sharing me comment here, which I love his participation, but the scenery that he has, oh, I doubt if I would even want to come into the town. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Love me, my Jimbo. That's all right. 345-936-8255. We will have a guest that'll be joining us a little later this evening. And for those of you who are just joining us, yes, we're talking because we're going to be making history here in the Cayman Islands. Yes, history's in the making, and that's coming up in May. But I don't want to take the wind out of the sail and share too much of the information, because we're going to do that with our guests to tell us more as they make their way into the studio, virtual studio here this afternoon. We're so happy for them to have chosen this platform to be here with us. And once they arrive, we will definitely be going in more detail with them. Now, I promise you tomorrow, because I know a lot of you guys are something else. You see, I've gotten a number of messages, Ms. Sabrina, when you go talk about this immigration thing, because this is coming up on the 1st, and I could be honest with you, but at least you guys are honest. That's one thing I got to give you credit for. We ain't got no time. We ain't got no time, but we like how you can break it down in layman's terms, and you just get to it and you point out certain things and we get an idea of what's happening. So yeah, I intend to do that tomorrow, start it tomorrow, because remember, these do come into effect as of the 1st of May, is what is now in the public's domain. And there is the regulations are there, what it means, the new fees and all that sort of stuff for immigration. So yes, I will be breaking it down to you in layman's terms. It's going to be like, you know, how you go to dine in versus the drive through. It's going to be a hybrid of maybe both. And I'm going to go through it. And I'll also try my best to break down what it means with this latest news release in the Auditor General and what he's finding out with all of this outstanding stuff. Remember, we did an entire show on the role, the purpose, the vision, the independence of the Office of the Auditor General, where they fall under, who he reports to, what his role is to you. And when these findings like these come about, then it kind of got you questioning, right? Who's going to hold these things or these individuals responsible for all of these things that has been pointed out? And we can go through that just as a recap, because like I said, we have gone through it line by line, but I don't mind repeating the role of the Office of the Auditor General and just tying it in with the latest report that he is actually signaling what it could mean to you in layman's terms. This is not political. This is not supposed to be taken personal. This is civic. We're elevating talk. We're going to educate you what it means. And we're not pointing the fingers. We're just speaking the truth. So understanding the role, understanding Mr. Smith's job. Some people may say, well, what the heck he has to say that for? Then he wouldn't be doing his job. He's doing his job while you're even aware of it. But I'm also getting some behind the scenes comments. Poor thing. I wonder how long he's going to be, because he's doing his job and he's calling them. You know how that goes. Once you start doing your job, then you know they don't like that. So no, go back in. Let me send it to you again. Just hold on. I'm just sorting out my guests here. I'm not seeing you in the green room at all. So let me just do this for you, my sweet. Okay, try that one. So yeah, we're going to, once you get in there, I'll be able to see you and then I can invite you in. So try that one. I don't know, but, or come out and go back in. That may actually help you. Yeah. So yeah, I'm going to do that for you as well, but because there's going to be some changes in regards to immigration, how it impacts the new time frame for eligibility, for status, what it means for express of work permits. There is going to be a responsibility on how quickly WORC turn around decisions as well. when you pay your express fees, how much you get back, whether it's 50%, whether it's, there's a lot that is in there that is welcome. I'm quite sure a number of you who have actually used the immigration system for work permits, that sort of stuff, would appreciate some of these things. But it's also putting a lot of responsibility, both as well in service delivery within a specific time frame, as well, for answers to be given as well. So onus is on both parties. Yourself for making sure when you apply for certain things that things are in tip-top shape. Now, and also if you're going to pay for express services and stuff like that, there is clear guidelines of what can be refunded, what's the turnaround, or how you get eligible for refunds, that sort of stuff, be it 50%, a fraction. So yeah, it's going to be quite interesting, but I will share all of the latest with you. And we'll go through it here as we normally do. We can, yes, I hear you. There you go.
Oh my gosh.
Oops.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry, let me take you out. Didn't expect to pull you right in. Oh my gosh. Sorry about that, my love. You get your breath and just give me a thumbs up when you're ready, my sweet. So, okay. Just, I know what it's like, my sweet. But the good thing about us here on the Sabrina Speaks platform, you can exhale. We understand. Okay, we're coming to you, my sweet. Oh, goodness.
Thank you so much, Sabrina, for your patience.
Oh, good. No, that's fine. That's one thing about us here, Ms. Tunisa Barnes, representative from the Ministry of Youth, Sports, Culture, and Heritage, to our show to tell us more as what's happening. We understand it's a working world, and that's why Connie is infamous. A kinder, gentler world. So if you even wanted to get a nice little refresher or something, you could have. You can.
Oh,
It's historic. I mean, we want you calm. We want you in your element, girl. We
get
just
me a little swanky, come prepared. Yes.
something, girl.
Is that what Friday hour thing? What was it? Friday happy hour type thing?
Oh yeah, wind down Friday. But oh gosh, if I had keep up with my people, I would not even be able to do a whole 2 hours without slurs. Which it was by choice, to be honest, but we love it here. We still got the feel of a wind down Friday. Just for the record, we do open mic on Fridays, and that has taken off, and people appreciate that, where we can do a host of things. Yeah. But you know what? Before we get into the crux of this entire month, I shared this in the news segment because I wanted to give it the advertising opportunity. And I'm talking about the concert. That's what I'm going to be speaking about. Yeah. So There you go. Look at there. That's a gospel concert that's coming up. And I told him I didn't want to say too much, but I felt it was newsworthy for our segment. And this is going to be big, right? And it's free.
It is free, yes. So that was one of our goals. We wanted to bring really an international artist here as part of Heritage Month. Part of the Cayman culture and heritage is that, we pride ourselves in being very God-fearing. So we thought, what better way than to kick off with a gospel concert on the 2nd? And you are correct, it is free to the public.
Excellent. Well, we'll definitely come back to this, but there's something big going on, and we're going to celebrate an entire month. So let's bring Ms. Tunisa back into the studio. And if you're just joining us, please go share the link. Tell your friends we're live, because this is history in the making here. We have Ms. Tunisa Barnes representing and charged with the national strategy in embracing who we are as people from the Ministry of Youth, Sports, and Culture Heritage, as we open this conversation on Cayman's inaugural Heritage Month that will be celebrated here in the Cayman Islands from the 1st until the 31st of May under the theme Threads of Our Tradition. So in this segment, ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank Ms. Tunisa Barnes for joining us. And, we welcome you to this platform and helping us to be able to unpack what this means, to help you catapult this off into our Heritage Month, what really it means. And we don't want anybody to think this is just something on paper, but in the hearts of Caymanian people. So yeah, let's get straight into it, my girl. It's
Well,
good
thank
to
you.
have you again. Yes. Now,
Thank you
pretty
so much
much.
for having us on. Well, having me on again this week. I think the last time I was on, I was talking about moving the Llewellyn House. Now that has been moved. We're moving on now to Heritage Month, which actually started about 2 years ago with the
Mhm.
reinstatement of Emancipation Day in May 2024.
Okay.
And so from that, we just got such a resounding positive feedback from the public saying that they wanted more opportunities to experience Caymanian culture, more opportunities for younger generation to come out, both new Caymanians as well as generational Caymanians, to find out what it is about Cayman culture that makes us
Hmm.
unique.
Hmm.
Last year, we were able to extend it into 1 week, and even that was not enough. And we had so many people reaching out to us and different agencies saying, hey, we would love to come on board and be part of this Heritage Week. And so, bit by bit, we found that it went from being 1 day for Emancipation Day.
Hmm.
Last year was a week with Heritage Week. And now this year, we have an entire month of activities. And so, it May will be known as Heritage Month. Yes.
I gotta put my foot in my mouth now because just so you have certain public holidays, don't be surprised if they say, "Can we have the whole month off?"
That's above my pay grade.
Oh no! I just said I would put my foot in my mouth there. But yeah, just how did the ministry pretty much decide on the theme? Because that's we always hear about tapestry and we know rope making and all that sort of stuff. Threads of our tradition. What does that phrase even mean?
Well, you alluded to it a bit earlier where you talk about, the rope making. And so we view as different parts of Caymanian culture, whether it's, our oral history, our quadrille, our dancing, our cooking, our seafaring
Hmm.
history, all of those intertwine to make the strong cultural rope that is the Caymanian culture and heritage. So we thought it was a fitting theme because we will be hitting on many of those threads per se
Right.
during this month. So we will have dancers, we will have, opportunities for people to do, quadrille, thatching, etc. And so, and even a play as well. So we have different opportunities for people to explore what it is to be Caymanian and what makes our culture unique as well.
Right. I'm seeing some good suggestions coming up through the corner of my eye, but we could continue because there will be a question section
Of
and
course.
a commentary, but very interesting. Denver,
Mhm.
you're on the ball. You must be took your ginkgo, Denver. Now, the Cayman Islands, as you know it, Tanis, because you're embedded into it, your very own ministry, has always had cultural events. As far as I can go back as a child, I remember, but often scattered. Some
Mhm.
have dwindled. I remember Family Fair Day and all that sort of stuff. But what does it mean to finally have a cohesive national narrative?
Well, like you said, we try to put everything under one umbrella and also to be cohesive as well. Tourism has come on board and being very supportive in promoting this also as a cultural event, not just for locals, but for visitors alike. Because a lot
Hmm.
of times people come and they want to experience the Caymanian culture, hospitality, getting to know it, have that experiential experience where they get to go hands on, do a thatching workshop, perhaps do quadrille. We even have opportunities for people to ride in the catboats for free as well.
Oh,
So these
nice.
are opportunities that, are sprinkled throughout the year, but having it during the Heritage Month allows us, like you said, to have it all cohesively under one umbrella.
Excellent. Now, what role do Caymanian people, not just institution, play in shaping this entire narrative to make this event what is envisaged? Because obviously the axe has been from a day or 2 days, 2 long weekends, now to an entire month. What role would you expect of our Caymanian people?
Well, the role is a transfer of knowledge as well, from the
Mm.
older generation to the younger ones. So, even though you and I are still young at heart, we are, now those persons who are culture guardians that have to continue carrying the torch for future generations. So opportunities that are presented during the Heritage Month allow persons to come out there, experience it, the transfer of knowledge from one generation to the
Mhm.
next, hands-on. And also it also might spark an interest with someone who is in the creative field that wants to do, like a young person who might not want to be an accountant working, inside of an office or something, but we really do encourage persons who have that creative side. And so opportunities like this allow them to get in touch and hopefully find an aspect of it that appeals to them.
Hmm. Now, let me tell you something. This year is definitely going to change how we look at it because we're highlighting the fact that Emancipation
Mhm.
Day is not just a date.
Yes.
What this ministry and your input, your feedback, you supporting up in your numbers is a turning point in our story as a people, as Caymanians. And for many years it has been, it hasn't been given prominence. There were some who was just iffy about the Emancipation Day period, and then look at what it has ballooned into. So why was it important then to formally include Emancipation Day within Heritage Month?
Well, Emancipation Day is also a key role of who we are as Caymanians and how we developed and how we came to be in the path that we took. Where a lot of other jurisdictions in the Caribbean, celebrated Emancipation Day August 1st. Cayman, during our research, found out that we took a different path and a different trajectory and actually gained our emancipation earlier than other people. So I think that is something for us to celebrate and to highlight. And for a long time, we had that narrative that slaves did not exist in Cayman. And so,
Mm-hmm.
through extensive research, several years with the archives, both here, Cayman, Jamaica, and in the UK, we discovered that Cayman did have, at least 900 slaves here at the time of emancipation. And as well, we gained our full emancipation immediately in May, which is why we celebrate
Mm-hmm.
Emancipation Day in May rather than August with the rest of most British speaking Caribbean. So
Yes.
we felt it was really important that we celebrated the uniqueness of Cayman. And again,
Mm-hmm.
like I said, what made us our different path that we took from everyone else. So it is a very prominent day for us. And one of our partners, the National Trust, will be on site on May 5th, no, May 4th,
Right.
sorry, May 4th this year at Fort George, giving free tours through Georgetown, as well as reenactment of the proclamation during Emancipation Day.
Ah, now
Yeah.
I'm quite sure that there will be other government agencies and nonprofits that will be participating. But looking at and we're hearing a lot of the people talking about we need to hear and have certain things more into the schools and that sort of stuff, kind of tunnel only schools. I feel this needs to be expanded in even after school activities, that
Mhm.
sort of stuff. But then it begs the question, how do we teach this history in a way that's honest,
Mhm.
respectful, and empowering? Because, as you rightfully say, the fact is, we did have slaves.
Yes. So one of our SAGCs, the Cayman National Culture Foundation, is doing a really excellent job with that, partnering with the Education Ministry to create books and stories, as well as our ministry also has a book that we've been working on for the past year called Freely, which we hope to publish before the end of this year, that
Mhm.
tells the story of emancipation in a context that makes it palatable for young audience, for them to learn about slavery in an age appropriate manner, as
Right.
well as we have the museum coming on board with a speaker series where they'll
Mhm.
be talking about emancipation. Again, Long Celia, there'll also be an exhibit. So there'll be lots of opportunities for people to immerse themselves in the history and culture of the Cayman Islands and emancipation and the issues that took place around that. So we realized that this really is not a topic that was broached quite often before this.
Right.
We understand that a lot of education has to take place with
Mhm.
not just the young people, but as well as older persons who were told that narrative for most of their life that
Mhm.
Cayman did not have slaves. So we're out here, presenting the information, presenting the data, and doing it in an age appropriately and a respectful manner.
Okay, excellent. What role do you think churches, schools, and families you think plays in preserving this part of our story? Because there's a lot of subjects that's taboo, and this whole Emancipation Day and even understanding, wrapping your mind around it. You know, what do you feel their role should be?
Well, the churches have come on board really as really excellent partners. The last 2 or 3 years, we have started our Emancipation Day, Heritage Month, and now Heritage Week, and now Heritage Month with the
Hmm.
church service. And so we will have a church service again this year, starting on May 3rd at the John Gray Memorial Church in West Bay. And then
Hmm.
the following week, Mother's Day, ironically, May 10th, we'll be going to Cayman at the Stake Bay Baptist Church and having a church service there as well, where we
Nice.
you know we recognize it and we celebrate it, and also we have this conversation because, as you rightfully said, it has been a kind of taboo subject. It
Mhm.
has been something we've been afraid to broach for a long time. But through having these conversations bit by bit each year, and it's almost like an onion where each year we pull a layer back and expose a
Mhm.
bit more as we dive deeper into the Cayman tapestry of what makes us unique, what made us develop in the way that we did.
Yeah. It's amazing because sometimes, I was raised up by my grandparents, and some of the stories that my grandfather, and may their soul rest in peace, and even now, my two aunts, we often sit on the little front porch and we would talk about, the olden days, how they would climb that guinnep tree that still exists. And they used to pass fast with a senior lady who was passing under there. They were troublemakers, can you see them now, but they're climbing trees. But there's still a lot that I feel my mom, my grandparents avoid discussing, much
Mhm.
less to say publicly, of the truths of our past, which is why I feel this subject, emancipation, slavery, and the truth, hearing about the slave wall that was discovered in Bodden town, and the
Mhm.
history of that, and the people I think was coming from Africa. Was that it? There was a group that came,
Mhm.
and it's amazing how you really don't hear a lot of these truths that are
Yes.
a part of our fabric, our tapestry, our woven history. And I'm happy that you all are choosing to have an entire month to showcase this, because we shouldn't be ashamed of discussing, be it privately or publicly,
Mhm.
the national truths.
You're absolutely correct. Yes. So we're doing that bit by bit more. So we're having an opportunity to discuss it. So we welcome opportunities like through Heritage Month for us to discuss this, explore. We have different opportunities, whether it's during Emancipation Day, which is May 4th, or also during our speaker series that allow people to come out and discuss these the path and discuss emancipation and what it meant to Cayman.
Hmm. Now, there are going to be lots of events that are happening. I guess you will, in time, will be sharing with us a
Yes.
schedule of events to highlight the month's activities. But besides the concert, that for those again who are just joining us,
Yes.
besides the concert, what types of events can the public expect during this entire Heritage Month? This being one of them. You've mentioned two church services. Are you able to share with us any more so that people
Of
can,
course. Yes.
mentally prepare themselves for this month-long celebration?
Yes, indeed, I can. So it starts on Friday, the 1st of May, with our 3-4-5 day, where we encourage people to get dressed in either their traditional Cayman outfit, which we were glad to do that last year, which is the gingham dress for women, as well as the khaki top, khaki bottom for men, or
Mhm.
in your Caymanian proud T-shirt, as well as in the Caymanian colors of red, white, and blue. So we encourage everyone to get dressed up that day and be Caymanian proud. Yes.
Nice.
On the second, we also have a children's carnival because a lot of when you look at the records and it indicate that when people received their emancipation, when they were freed, they took to the streets in celebration and jubilee. So a lot of time people say, well, what does carnival and celebrating have to do with Cayman and
Hmm.
emancipation?
Hmm.
Well, carnival is a celebration of freedom. And so it starts with the children's carnival on the 2nd of May. That's early in the day, followed by 6:30 in the evening. We're going to go to agriculture for the gospel concert, which, as you mentioned, is a free concert as well.
Hmm.
The third is a church service at John Gray Memorial Church in West Bay. And then the fourth is the Emancipation Day out town. And so normally that takes place around 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We have bands performing. We have lots of good Cayman food. We have the National Trust. We also have, the Catboat Club. We have cordial dancers. There's so many events that take place there,
Hmm.
as
Hmm.
well as we have the Emancipation Center, which we opened last year. It'll be open to the public for free with guided tours on that day. So we encourage people to come down and participate and go through the Emancipation Center as well as the museum that day.
Hmm. Someone was asking about t-shirts.
Yes, t-shirts will be on sale. Normally we sell them out of the intergenerational hub, which is the building behind Airport Falls. There's the big, I think it's a yellow building next to
It used to be the
DHL.
Yellow Pages building. Hmm.
Yes, yes. So that's where you can buy t-shirts from. So we
Okay.
have
Will they have
t-shirts.
caps and other memorabilia as well?
I think we should have some of those as well. Yeah, because again, they were such a great hit, in particular the umbrellas, you know. So
Hmm.
every time I go and I still see an Emancipation Day umbrella, I always smile to myself because, you know, they really were very popular when we introduced them 2 years ago.
Right, right. Now I see where Denver made a suggestion. Remember, both Big Eye Me greed puppy get choke. You know how it go. And
Yeah.
Denver was saying instead of an entire month, and in case you got other stuff, but just maybe you can throw this out to the powers that be in your
Mhm.
recommendations. Denver is suggesting a long weekend every weekend for the month,
Well,
for
Mr.
that
Denver,
month.
we're almost there. So we have 2 long weekends in May. We have the 4th, which is Emancipation Day, and then we have the 19th, which is Discovery Day. So we're almost there. We have 2 out of 4 weekends that are long weekends.
Yeah, so you're halfway to Denver. They
Yeah.
may actually ask you for a consultation. Oh, be a consultant for these ideas. So we're halfway there, but go ahead if there's anything more.
Oh, yes.
Sure.
So we also have a speaker series on the 5th, which is being hosted by the museum, the Cayman Islands National Museum, and the Cayman Islands National Culture Foundation, as well as we will have a human library on the 16th, which again is a really good opportunity for that exchange of knowledge from one generation to the next. So
Hmm.
we will have older persons in our community at the Georgetown Library, where you can go between 10 and 12 and have a conversation with them, find out what life was like, you know, just a very organic conversation talking to them. And it's a great opportunity for people, not just, you know, generational Caymanians, but also people who have chosen to make Cayman their home, to talk to people who lived it, who
Hmm.
grew up in a different time, in a different era. And I always love talking to these older persons because each time I leave the conversation, I leave learning something a little new, something different as well. So we
Right.
encourage people to participate in that as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Then following on, we have also on the 16th, we will have a tea party that will be limited to 100 persons, 100 young people, because it is also Child's Month. And again, you know, we want to include children as much as possible
Hmm.
because they will be the ones who keep our culture and heritage alive. So there
Hmm.
will be a tea party because, you know, growing up, everyone loved a good garden tea party. So we've kind of done that as well. We keep in with that tradition. Going to the next long weekend, Mr. Denver, we have Bracanal.
Right.
So we take it to the Bracken. We have Bracanal over there that long weekend. In Grand Cayman, the University College of the Cayman Islands will be hosting their Culturama at the Hartwell Theater, which will be a beautiful evening of song, dance, and inspiration. So that is open to the public. I think there's a nominal fee attached to that. But again,
Hmm.
you know, we welcome people to go out and support them in their cultural endeavors. On the 21st, we have a poetry night, which will take place at the Cayman Collection Center. And then we also have the One Carnival, which was a project our ministry was working on for several months to unite the two carnivals into
Hmm.
one. So
Hmm.
everyone will be taken to the road on the 23rd, chipping down the street. And if
Hmm.
you haven't bought your costume yet, or if you're not, you know, we encourage you to come out and watch them on the road.
Hmm.
And then also in that week, we also start Art Week. So we'll also,
Okay.
yeah, it's a busy time. So Art Week begins on the 26th, and that runs until the 31st. And normally they have different venues throughout Grand Cayman and Cayman Brac, as well as bus tours where people can go and view different arts as well as different crafts, painting, sculptures,
Hmm.
etc. So it's an amazing opportunity. I've participated for the last 3 or 4 years. It's a great opportunity to go out, and often you go to different venues that you don't normally visit, and
Correct.
it's a great way to, you know, for me, I live in town, I don't get out as much as I normally do, and it's a
Hmm.
great excuse for me to go to, you know, East End and West End, different areas where they have items on display.
Hmm.
And we also have during that week as well, we have a play at Prospect Playhouse called In the Heights, and that'll be at the Prospect Playhouse as well. So you see, this is a few things, and we're adding some more things to Cayman Brac as well, but it is a
I
lot
was
of
going to
items.
ask.
Yes, we can't leave out the Brac.
No, no. Oh, they will tell you out good and proper because we got a contingent over there that's always logged on. And what she's going to say, well, none change over here in Cameron Bracknell. And that's all. Are they going to have a
No,
tea
no.
party?
Actually, they do have a tea party. It's a tea around Kim and Brack, which has been
Nice.
really successful. I think they have that planned for the 30th of May, as well
Hmm.
as Saskia and the Heritage House over there. They also have a sip and paint planned for that. and the National Trust in Cayman Brac will be offering a speaker series and free guided tours as well. So
Mhm.
there is something for everyone during this month, and we invite persons to come out and to participate. Oh, and I also forgot, we do have a family fun day in the BRAC as well, and that is on the 9th. So we go
Mhm.
to the BRAC and we have a family fun day there and a gospel concert on the 8th. So we're not
Okay.
leaving them out.
Excellent, excellent. Well, what I will do here is that I will make a promise that
Mhm.
in case I've overlooked it, I will definitely be highlighting these events ahead of time in my
Yes.
community segment, okay? So in case I've overlooked something or it was sent and whatever happened, I will definitely, as you guys update the schedule for the entire month of May, I will definitely be doing the posting, and maybe if you catch me out in one of them jump ups with my band on my knee. But yeah, I'm going to enjoy it.
Yeah. So we have flyers for most of our events, which we'll be sharing with you, and you can share with your audience as
Of
well,
course, of
and
course.
a month-long calendar, so people can kind of get their schedule sorted out. So
Yeah.
we are promoting this as much as possible. You're actually the first person that we're promoting it on,
Oh,
so you're
wow.
the first,
Thank you. Thank you. History here,
Yeah.
definitely. We're so appreciative of that, and we'll definitely continue to highlight. And once you send us those flyers, we will definitely craft our story. We will do segments as well, and of course, you guys are always welcome to jump in. It doesn't have to be for an
Mhm.
entire. It's up to you. How we help you do this for even during the month of, and we can give
Mhm.
updates as well. But I'm excited. Now, I know that there are a number of government agencies that are a part of this, but they're also community partners, I'm quite sure, to make these events successful. Are you able to say like who's a part? Is there sponsorship opportunities still available? Or should people want to join into this?
There's sponsorship opportunities. Of course, we would love to have those corporate sponsors come on board. We had two companies reach out to us today, so we're doing
Nice.
discussions with them. And this allows us to continue having offerings with persons and all. With a lot of the things we do, but with the artisans, we pay them to come out and offer this free service to people. So
Yeah.
those corporate sponsors help us to have as many free events as possible.
Hmm.
We're really grateful. If anyone out there is listening, please reach out to us. We would love to have you on board. So
And
yes,
what
there are
what we
opportunities.
can do is that you can share with me in a WhatsApp, maybe at the end, contact details, and we will post it on the link below. And of course, you can always reach out directly to the Ministry of
Mhm.
Youth, Sports, Culture, and Heritage. And for any additional information, their details are there on Facebook and the government website for more information. Or you know how it goes. Tell them what you're interested in, what you want to sponsor. You
Mhm.
want to be a part from a corporate perspective. Um, let's take some of the comments if you don't mind, so you
Not a
can get a
problem.
little break on your voice. Yeah, Denver's long weekend every week. So Denver, you heard what she said. We're already halfway there. Denver also says Dr. McField's historical and social commentary often focuses on Caymanian identity, and he's sharing how much he enjoyed garden parties and how much he misses them.
Mhm.
Andrew is saying, I must commend the ministry and the Cayman Islands government for taking this initiative to highlight our heritage and culture for the month of May. This is so important for us to recognize our heritage, history, and where our culture came from. Tourism and all involved in this industry will be greatly benefit. Hotels, Airbnbs, hosts should get in on the program and offer specials, local restaurants included. Andrew, excellent idea. Like for that entire month, like, all the restaurants and be it mom and pop stores should actually do either a beverage or some
Mhm.
traditional, because we got the national drink, we got the national dessert, we got a national
Yeah.
dish. To me, for this entire month, especially, um, where our culinary delights and taste buds, I feel that should be good. But this is history in the making. We're looking forward into the future as well. We can expand on this, but I think that's an excellent idea. Where all of these people, because we're all ambassadors, Miss Barnes,
Mhm.
we are all ambassadors. We are all here to promote our island, but this entire month of celebration, let me tell you something, we should be painting the entire island with national pride. Like,
Mhm.
we should be on steroids for this month. And I applaud you and your team. I also share sentiments to the government for embracing this, because we know it's not cheap either. But this is investing in our people.
Yeah, and the strategic policy goal number 5 does speak about Caymanian culture and identity. So we are pleased, as you said, the government has given it its attention and said it is a priority. So we were quite happy to develop this with their support and offer it to the public. And so we hope to see it grow from strength to strength every year.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there we go. Andrew's giving you his contact
Thank
details.
you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you,
The
Andrew.
number as well. Yeah, I can share
Mhm.
these details with you as well later
Thank
on.
you.
So yeah, but there it is on the screen for those who want to actually get in touch with him, or maybe a group of persons. Now, you see, Tunisa, I'm going to be honest with you. We started a segment here where one of our followers just shared orchids. And now
Oh,
that person, Miss Connie, she actually posts a flower of the day, flowers of the day. And then we had
really?
other persons who then were sharing flowers of the day. And then we have Damien, who has the word and the message of the day. And this is how you build a community. If I don't see certain people comment or log on, that to make me know that they're there, everybody is calling them out. Where are they? And I actually call them because, yeah, I miss them. But what I'm saying is, with some of these suggestions and proposals, like what Andrew is doing here, what Denver even suggested as well, it's amazing how this entire month, regular persons just give an idea and feel a part of making this a national success. And this is so inclusive, because that's what you want the buy-in. You want the buy-in from everybody.
We do, which is why we've offered so many different events that we hope that everyone is able to find at least one event that appeals to them. Whether it's
Mhm.
a gospel concert, whether it is carnival, bacchanal, the sip and paint, the tea
Yeah.
around town, something should appeal to you. So we're looking forward to have as many people as possible out. So, Mr. Denver, I look forward to seeing you at least one of our events.
I'm quite
And
sure
Mr.
Andrew will be
Andrew.
out, and Andrew as well. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now we know that the preservation of Caymanian identity, and we hear so much, Ms. Tanissa, about how we're changing
Mhm.
and the pace in which we're changing. Your ministry is tasked with carrying out the orders and definitely keeping in line with it, right?
As best as possible, yes.
Right, right. How do we preserve identity in the middle of all that we're seeing happening? And it's almost as though we're doing it as a speed of light. And this is just us talking. This is not political. I respect you're a civil servant. We're just talking. It's a discussion, because that's how we are here. So it's not your opinion. We're just speaking in broad brush. And then it ties into why it's important for us to all be invested and come out and share and celebrate in this month-long celebration, because we're seeing changes happening so quickly.
Right, well, using opportunities like Heritage Month to celebrate, highlight, and elevate Caymanian culture, not just for generational Caymanians, but for other people as well. For a long time, we were told, Cayman didn't have any culture, we didn't have any heritage,
Mhm.
but yet we've been able to have an entire month of events taking place, with more being added almost daily, with people still reaching out to us. So how did we're trying to highlight it, letting people understand it more, becoming more aware of it. So that is how we can still recognize and appreciate Caymanian culture and heritage in this ever-changing world. So
Right.
the only constant in life is that we're always changing. But how do we keep one foot in the future, as well as paying respecting our past and paying homage
Mhm.
to those persons who came before us?
Mhm. Now, in your opinion, what role does policy play in cultural preservation? Because we know you're part of the policy, and I have seen firsthand the excitement in your face, your eyes when you see this policy. You guys do all of this work, and you're just like, "Wow, we got the green light." But
Yeah.
people would not even understand the operational arm and the importance of
Yeah.
getting the green light, because you put so much into this
It
that it
really
may not
do.
understand the role
Give
policy
me one sec. My
play in
computer's going.
cultural.
Yeah, sorry, my computer's inactive. So yeah, so we do quite a bit of policy. You are absolutely correct, and you in your former role got to see us do that behind the scenes firsthand and the excitement that comes with it. But part of the role is our ministry. We do try to fill those gaps and
Mm-hmm.
do preserve it. So over the last year, we were able to come up, as you said, the national dish, the national dance. Because prior to that, if you asked 10 people what our national dish was, you would
Mm-hmm.
have gotten 10 different answers.
Mm-hmm.
So now, without any question or without any doubt, we're all singing from the same hymn book and saying
Mm-hmm.
that turtle is Cayman's national dish. We now can say definitively what is our national dress, what is our national dessert, and what is our national drink.
Right.
And so, those ones, those are policies we created, doing research, etc. So policy helps us align with identifying these areas, filling the gaps and getting everyone on the same page, as well as you said, protecting Caymanian culture and heritage.
Mm-hmm. Now, I know there's going to be a collective effort with the Ministry of Education as well, but how do we ensure Caymanian children even grow up knowing who we are, who they are? Because it is a melting pot for true.
Yeah. Well, the Ministry of Education has come on board as an amazing partner, and there's synergies being created between our ministry and theirs to
Mm-hmm.
have, Caymanian culture put back in the schools. We're running a pilot program. I think we're in the month of May. That should be beginning soon, where we have people going to the school to teach Caymanian crafts such as thatching, the wattle and daub, exposing our young people to that, keeping those traditions alive, and at least exposing young people, because it's not just enough for them to hear about it, but
Right.
having these programs allow them to see it, touch it, feel it, engage
Mm-hmm.
all their senses, and really have an experiential experience where they get to touch it and feel it. And it means more to them than just seeing it on paper. So
Mm-hmm.
Minister Anglin is full steam on board. He and his team, they're extremely committed. So yeah, so you'll be seeing it in the schools very shortly.
Nice, nice, nice. Now I know we got a lot to work to do, and we're gonna make sure we keep these comments coming in here. Denver is saying definitely to Andrew, we're supposed to be the culinary capital of the Caribbean. That is incorporating and seeing if we could get all of the as much restaurants as we can during the
Mhm.
entire month of May to showcase something that aligns with our celebration of this entire month here.
Mhm.
Andrew is also saying we are descendants from Africa, Ireland, England, and Europe. A true melting pot is exactly what it is. And here, Denver, he coming at you. He coming. He said, "Thank you, Miss T. Yes, and some celebrity photograph. Yes, he wants some photography
Oh,
with
for
us.
sure.
So yeah, what you do? You go and you take the picture and says you got to get my permission to use it. Yeah, so you trademark it, my friend. You trademark it. But Denver wants the pictures, those selfies, and you can go, that's another thing. For the entire month, these ideas are just popping up left, right, and center. If you're found with a family doing something traditional, it should be nice to be able to post those on your social media
Mhm.
pages to show how you're celebrating the entire month, be it with your family, friends, or out to one of the national events to show this, because it's amazing, Miss Barnes, what a reach we have and the power of podcasting, social media. We see the pace. It's amazing how this can be something that we embrace, that we embrace fully and get more educated. And like you rightfully say, peeling back the layers of things that were taboo, no longer, and just engaging respectfully as we know a lot more about who we are.
Mhm. And we always invite people to tag our ministry. We would love that. So yes, so if you're out and about with your family, we encourage you to tag the Ministry of Youth, Sports, Culture, and Heritage, and we
Mhm.
would definitely repost it and also save it for different events for next year that we can use it to promote Heritage Month as well. So
Correct.
please tag us. We love it.
Yeah, yeah. Andrew is asking a question here. Very interesting. I remember the saying being "who your mama is." Is there a cultural slang? Is
Um,
that a cultural slang?
I still use that. I use that up to this week. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know if that's aging myself, but I'd be like, "Who you from? Who your mama is?" And
Now, of
your
course,
mama got to be so and so. So yeah,
exactly. I can see it. Look at that jib cut. Look at that
yeah.
across those eyes. I think it's a combination of a number of things, to be honest, because I catch myself doing it too. Um, But we want to hear from you, the audience. If it even means to shout out the ministry and the work of this government in highlighting these month's activities, 345-936-8255 is the number to call. And maybe you want to share with us what part of Caymanian traditional or culture would you want to see revived? Because a lot of things have faded away. A lot of things that we used to do, we no longer see them. So what part of Caymanian culture do you or would you want to see revived back if you had a magic wand or if you could have your stake? Drop me a WhatsApp, 345-936-8255. Feel free to call in live to share with us, share that. Or if you even want to say, what does tradition really means most to you? We have the conversations. We hear where we're losing our who we are as a people. And as Ms. Barnes alluded to earlier on, okay, man, do have no culture. Let's demystify that right now. Let's put that in the back burner. Let's see exactly what offerings are being had. We're dedicating an entire month of celebration. But if there is some Caymanian culture that you may wish or have a desire you want to see revived, let us know about it here today. You can share that either in the comments below, or you can call us, and at the same time shout out our ministry and the government for, because you got to be supported, right? You got to get the financing in order to support it. Kudos to them for that as well. Now, is there any other information you wish to share with us, Ms. Barnes? Maybe a recap or anything else that you would like to share with us? Because people can comment below, or they can call in, or they can WhatsApp as they come, and I'll share them with you.
Well, I think, one thing that I want to recap is that we do have a lot of events starting from May 1st with the 345 there, where we encourage people to get dressed in either their traditional Caymanian wear, the colors red, white, and blue, which are our national colors, as well as our hashtag Caymanian Proud t-shirts. We have different events starting, with the Children Carnival on May 2nd, the free gospel concert, which it takes place on May 2nd as well at 6:30 in the evening at the Agriculture Show, a church service, as well as the Emancipation celebrations on May 4th out town, followed by the speaker series by the Caymanians National Museum, who will also have an Emancipation exhibit as well. So we have so many opportunities in the month, and we encourage people to keep checking our socials, listening to the Radio Cayman, your show, as well as the other ones, because we've partnered with quite a few social media outlets to ensure that no matter what people listen to, whether it's CMR, your show, everything 345,
Right.
we're trying to use as many different avenues
get
as
it out.
possible to get it out. And we want to have as many people at our events. We've tried to make them as free or as normal as possible so that people don't have any barriers to coming out to celebrating with us.
Definitely. And for all of those who may not be in the outing and the rowdy part of it, there's always tea parties. There's also tea parties planned, church services, and Cayman Brac, you are not forgotten. The sister islands are not forgotten. Now, little Cayman could be jealous,
Well, you know what? It gives us a challenge for next year, so we realize that we have to go to Little Cayman. So it's our first thing. It gives us something to aim for next year.
Yeah. As we continue, I guess people don't realize, even though we started this emancipation, the two back to, well, not back to back, but the 2 weekends, the mere fact that you all are dedicating the entire month, are you able in words to just describe what this is like and really put a true meaning for what we as a people of the Cayman Islands should actually be so proud of this moment? Can you actually even describe what that means?
It's really hard to put into words because for so long we had the narrative of Cayman not having any culture, not having any history, not having this, not having that. But we've shown that we do actually have a very rich and unique culture and heritage, and we're so proud to be putting it on display and to work with our culture partners to have it. So that's why we're so excited to be offering it, and we invite everyone to come out to at least 2 or 3 events. And we really, like I said, we've kept it as low as possible, if not free, because we want people to come out to celebrate being Caymanian,
Mhm,
to
mhm.
learn about what it is to be Cayman, to celebrate the Caymanian culture and heritage. And so we look forward to having Mr. Denver, Mr. Andrew, and as many of your listeners as possible out at their different events. So I'll be keeping an eye out for them and take their picture for you.
I can tell you who you will have out there if you got one sales stall that has orchids. I know one person will be out there. That I don't want to call her name Miss Connie Bonnie. I'm not gonna call her name. Not gonna call her name at all. We got some more comments that are coming in here that will spark the discussion. Denver is saying the kids playing some of the traditional games we grew up playing. That's interesting.
So
Yeah.
we will have a children's corner on Emancipation Day to have that, so that again, keeping those tradition alive and passing from one generation to the next, whether it's gigs, marbles,
Mhm.
all sorts of different games we're going to have out there. So yes, we're going to have all
Mhm.
that, Mr. Denver, and we invite you to come and play, because you know what, you can still be a kid at heart. So we invite
Mhm.
everyone to come out and to participate as well.
Okay, Plastic Fantastic is commenting, preserving your heritage seems to be a global concern, especially in the face of mass migration. Local peoples fear losing their culture. And this is why, Plastic Fantastic, we are dedicating an entire month of just that. Our guest has alluded to earlier on the importance of us educating, knowing who we are, where we come from, our past, in order to even be able to respect it. The mere fact that the government is supporting this, we've gotten the support to extend it now from 2 long weekends to a calendar to cover an entire month. It shows exactly that we are doing everything in our power to avoid losing it despite the melting pot. It's just like landing on the moon where you put that stake down. We
Mhm.
are landing on our own feet and making sure that we highlight and just let people know this is Cayman. This is who we are. And that is not only then reflected, highlighted even though for the month, but at all times, because this, I could be honest with you, Miss Barnes, should be done all the time. You have traveled to other Caribbean jurisdictions and you see that national pride in everything, everywhere, be it the flag, be it certain symbols. You think we'll ever get there?
I think we will. I mean, we're slowly making strides toward it. And what people forget as well is that Cayman, we're still a very young society. A lot of these other jurisdictions that we go to have been around a lot longer than we have. And so
Mhm.
we're still young, we're still emerging, we're still finding ourselves. And we developed really quickly, and we're having issues that maybe other jurisdictions didn't have or have at the same time. So we're making small steps and strides toward it. So I am confident that we will have that same kind of cultural pride as well. In fact, we do have it. So yeah,
Mhm.
I'm very confident about that.
Yeah. I know that we've been having some conversations, and I'm all about the place a little bit more now than usual. But the fear of certain things disappearing, and this is why the passion is real, and this is why we need to act now to make
Hmm.
sure it doesn't disappear. And that's going to be a collective responsibility from all of us, every one of us. That is going to be key. And I'm hoping that we will come out in our numbers, not just take those 2 weekends and jolt off unless you really have to, but invest home, stay, meet up with people, and just partake in all of the events that are happening. We see where, or what is it called? One carnival.
Yes, one carnival. Yes.
We're seeing where even them now have amalgamated into
Mhm.
one big show. I mean, you want to be a part of that history, don't you? And be it you're jumping, or be it you're on the sidelines just shaking or tapping a foot, or you understand, we want to make sure that you don't just jet off, that you stay and
Mhm.
you be a part of this. So yeah, I'm hoping that this will be a huge success, that we continue to grow, that we continue to get more corporate sponsors calling you, and the opportunities are there to actually help us celebrate this. And maybe, who to tell, Denver may get his wish after all.
You never know. Fingers crossed, Mr. Denver.
Well, this is your opportunity, Miss Barnes, to share with us exactly anything you'd like for as a takeaway, and it's your opportunity.
Thank you so much, Sabrina. So I think the one takeaway for people is that Heritage Month has something for every single person. We'll be sharing the calendar with you later in the next couple of days, before the
Mhm.
end of the week. And so, with that, we encourage people to look at the calendar and find one or two events that appeal to them and also to come out. We welcome and encourage everyone to dress down and dress up in their Caymanian traditional wear for 3, 4, 5 day. Come out in your red, white, and blue, your traditional Cayman dress, or your Caymanian Proud t shirt. We have
Right.
so many events taking place, many of which are free, and we encourage everyone to come on out.
hmm And remember now, those Emancipation Day T-shirts are available at the Intergenerational Hub for
Yes,
persons want to. Now, will you be having a stand or anything? Planning on doing a stand or anything at Gab or anywhere else that
we've
people, or everything has to be at the Intergenerational Hub?
we've done it before, so we've sold them at in the staff entrance at Gab, as well as we have the location Cayman Collection Center in West Bay. So we will be able to distribute them and have different locations around town, making it more easy accessible to the public to pick up their t-shirts.
Yeah. Maybe the museum as well, huh?
Oh
No.
yes, definitely.
Yeah, the
Yes.
museum as well. And then if you haven't been there, I was blown away at how much people has never ever been to that museum, you know.
I know, and it's such a beautiful building.
It is gorgeous. Yes, Denver. Let's see what he's saying before we let you go. Many years ago, I suggested to our government to take some of our old homes that were being torn down to restore them and build a Cayman traditional reserve for those home with the elders being transported to the site, cooking, sweeping the sand yards, etc., and as out National Heritage Village. Oh, okay. So but we realize now the challenge that comes with that, Denver. If Miss
Mhm.
Barnes, if I know we're digressing a little bit, but this is an excellent idea, but that comes with some serious maintenance and a fee, a cost,
Mhm.
a charge.
Mhm.
Would you like to weigh in on that?
Oh, you mean me?
Yeah. No, no, I mean because of the historic move with Miss Louise Llewellyn and how that was feedback, even though that was in joint partnership.
It really was a joint partnership, a private-public partnership. So we
Hmm.
have moved that house to preserve it, and it will be restored. But you are correct, there is a fee to maintaining these homes. And a lot of the materials that are used to maintain those homes no longer exist. Like the wattle is usually
Hmm.
made, or traditionally is made from coral. And I mean, as at this day and age, we can't really go out in the ocean and pull up coral and,
Right.
run that down into it. So, some slight modifications have to be made, but people are trying to uphold them and keep them up as much as possible. But I would say to Mr. Denver, stay tuned. It might be something coming in the not so distant future about that. I don't want to give it away yet, but we're working on it. We're working on it. We're doing a lot of work behind the scenes.
You know, this is in real time. Remember, we speak a lot here on the Sabrina Speaks platform. You have the elected arm and you have the operational arm. Miss Tanissa is the operational arm. Your elected arm would be the one talking about what they want to bring this possibly into reality. Then they're responsible for funding it. And then once they get the okay and the green light from the elected arm, they then translate, fund it. And Miss Tanissa, the operational arm, guess what she do? She bring
Mhm.
it into fruition. So if you needed a force class into showing exactly, or an express class in understanding the operational arm of government and the elected arm of government, you had it right there. So Miss Tanissa is actually carrying out the duties of the elected arm who funded it, who gave the marching orders. She went and researched it along with her team. She's now bringing it forward and executing. So yeah, that's a little 411 in education there. Andrew is saying, even in today's modern world, India and Africa still honor their customs and culture. Marriages, events are celebrated based on strictly on their principles. We need to re-identify who we are as a people, and this is the step in the moving forward. So congratulations being shared there, my love.
Thank you all so very much. And like you said, it is a group effort. The ministry is working hard at it, as well as our SAGCs, the Cayman Islands National Museum, the Cayman Islands National Culture Foundation, as well as the National Gallery. So it
Mhm.
is a collaborative event where all of us are working together from the ministry or departments or SAGCs. So we all working in conjunction to preserve Caymanian culture and heritage and also highlight it. because that is one of our ministry's priorities, educating, highlighting, and promoting Caymanian culture and heritage.
Right. And Denver is saying if this ever comes to fruition with his idea, there would be an entry fee. Just imagine the amount of visitors that would visit there. I got the idea from such a place in Canada. Okay, that's good. Well, let's see. Oh, well, right now, she says soon come. So
Stay tuned, Mr. Denver.
stick a
Stay
pin.
tuned.
Stick a pin, stick a pin, stick a pin. Yeah, on that one. We'll just put that up on the post-it wall. Soon come. But Mr. Nissa, we want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to break this historic event here on the CMR TV platform and definitely on Sabrina Speaks. I think you're on the CMR tomorrow for those persons.
I am.
Yeah.
I am.
So for the Cold Hard Truth, so you'll be on there again, assisting to promote this. And as the month approaches and even during the month, we make it a promise to you that we will keep you abreast of all the happenings and make sure we remind you to go out and support it, because this is all Cayman and who we are, and we make it. So that means we got to support it. So yeah, thank you so much for spending time with us this evening, for being our guest. And we look forward to the continued sharing of information, having you guys featured and other members from your ministry as we continue to assist in promotion and educating our populace, our population, our citizens with all that's happening within your ministry, because we're all tied in no matter what.
Thank you so much for having me today.
Thank you. It is a pleasure. Have a good evening.
You too. All right. Bye.
Bye-bye. There we have it. We want to thank Ms. Tunisa. You know what? Heritage Month, my friends, is not just about events. And as Ms. Tunisa alluded to, it is also an educational part of it, because there's so much things that we don't talk about. There's some that were angry that we even had emancipation, that we were even planning on doing this emancipation thing and Emancipation Day observance. We were in denial that it's actually true. Now we have actually policies that shows what our traditional dress is, or drink, or desserts, how you cook turtle meat, how you do all of these things. And we're taking it one step at a time. The mere fact that there is such a growing demand, that it has gone from 2 weekends to an entire month-long celebration and still building, speaks volumes. And I want people to understand it. We talk so much about being generational Caymanian and all that sort of stuff, preserving who we are as a people. We need to understand that it is about our identity. It's about memory and preserving it, respecting it. So moving forward, we all know where we're coming from. Therefore, you would have a sense of pride and respect. It's about honoring as well and showcasing and highlighting those persons who built these 3 islands with their hands. They didn't have all of these technology. You heard about the Miss Louise Llewellyn House and Miss Lassie's with the wattle and daub and how that is made, and why it was so important for a private-public partnership to restore that structure. They did that with their hands, with national resources, even though these things are protected now. What I'm saying is, you got to understand where we're coming from to respect where we're going to go. And they built that with their hands, faith, resilience, and good old common sense, because some of the things that we see from the past, look at our library, look at our town hall, look at our post office. And these buildings has stood the test of time. Engineering, the structural design, the very architecture, when you look at the woodwork and stuff like that, they didn't have all of these AI design stuff that, we really need to give more credit for the shoulders and for our forefathers, for what they've done. And here we are today. Don't want to dilute it. We don't want it to be hidden either, or just evaporate. We need to keep it alive. Yes, we need to be resilient. We need to own it, be proud of it, embrace it. And this is going to take a collective effort. So the key takeaway, it is just not about the events. It's looking at all of those persons from the past, looking forward to the future, preserving it, being proud of it, wearing it as a badge of honor everywhere you go. And as we celebrate, throughout the upcoming month of May, I hope that we will always remember that culture is not something we inherit, Mm-mm. It is something that we must protect. And in so doing, we also must live it and be proud of it and speak of it with pride. And don't let nobody else come and change it. Because if we remain silent, it could be replaced with something else. Yeah. Because I'm hearing a cassava cake is taking a turn in a different direction, which is why I'm so happy. The true how cassava cake is made, for example, is written down. And we don't want him to do that with our turtle meat. We don't want him to do that. Nope. We got to preserve all of these things. And having events like this that we can showcase, we can go out, we can be proud of it, teaching it in our schools, after school activities, have events that you can just, every time you have an essence of it. Every restaurant should be featuring something local, even if it's for this month, or it should be something to respect the fact that we are here in the Cayman Islands. You should be able to look at a menu and see something that's Cayman in there, incorporated in the ingredients used, something that ties us back to Cayman. So it's interesting, but we're making steps. And Andrew said it so well. It is, we made the step. We're headed in the right direction. We're moving forward, and I thank him for that. And I'm hoping that we can get some more corporate sponsors in here so that we can make this a huge celebration as we enter into the summer, because we know it's at the slow season now. Tourism is kind of going down, and but we have a lot of persons that are visiting us as well. We have a lot of persons who come here for the summer. We have a lot of people that go away. And even though it's a slow season, you got to entertain those persons who are coming here as well. So we need to be creative. We need to be innovative. And what's best than showcasing our artisans, showcasing our culture? I don't think anything is wrong with that. A lot of the restaurants as well close down for the summer. A lot of the hotels do repairs. A lot of them actually have local rates and specials. That should tell you something. And a lot of our locals, even if they go away for their shopping and they go away for their summer vacation, not all of them go for the entire, 6 weeks? There's a big portion of that you stay either here at the beginning, or you go to the later end, or you're one of those who, go late. However you plan your summer vacation, there's a big chunk of that 6 weeks that our kids are out of school that you're here. Let's use this time that we can create those things that our locals can understand, appreciate, learn, and also include our staycationers. With the cost, I think Andrew had said something, we just don't have to be riding a donkey or something. Where is it that you said that? Something about the percentage. Yes, here he is. Sorry, the increase in fuel, 30% more, had to cut back on travel. Thinking of getting a donkey from Jamaica. Oh, let me tell you something. Andrew, I can share a personal story, and I'm sharing it with all of you here. I got a call. Normally after the show, I would go down and I would visit my aunt, because I don't really go out unless I have to. But I went to the gas station and I put gas in my car, and she was just about hitting quarter tank, and $65, and saying, okay, I just pulled out a number, and because normally $50 would get her. Sometimes she wouldn't even take $50. And I don't like her to go beyond half. Anyhow, me running up and down, she came off the half mark and just about to hit the quarter tank. $65. She not get nowhere near the full line. So of course, I broke tradition. They didn't see me come out last night. So I said, oh no, this every night thing of me coming to visit, first of all, I don't drive a Fit. Second of all, she don't run on flatulence, and I'm being very polite here. She run on gas and the other type of gas. So unless I have to, your girl ain't doing no unnecessary driving unless when Andrew orders his donkey from Jamaica, he bring two. So it is going to be interesting, but I have started, and remember we were talking about what things we can do to cut back on our consumption on energy, even though we were expecting the fuel costs to go up on our bills. I am trying to beat CUC's forecast, where I am doing and implementing certain behaviors in the house that can actually see a difference in the drop in my consumption and without being uncomfortable. And I have started and I'm getting used to it. Your body adjusts, save for the little 1-2 hot flashes that's still trying my patience. But that's the good thing. You don't know if it's outside or if you AC, but I digressed. Anyhow, all of those little things I am doing in order to try and navigate whatever it is about to hit us and doing my part. So I'm going to ask the powers that be at CUC, what if I use less than what they forecast? How would I be able to prove that? Yeah. So it's interesting. Yeah. But yeah. Let me just catch up on some of these. Andrew says, hence the term wooden ships and iron men. He has founded it upon the seas. Yes, thank you for sharing that. Damien says, Cayman Islands Heritage Village or Park, that can act as a permanent location for visitors and locals alike to visit. Damien, it is an excellent idea, just like how it is envisaged for a food truck park in Prospect in the coming days, months. Something similar like that is what Denver is actually painting a picture of. But as our operational arm of government says, soon come. Park it a little bit. Obviously, something is going on. And I feel that that would be a welcome by so many of us. And we can make it as something where it's, if people aren't just really living there, that you could have like an all-day skit of the sand yards and the cooking, and you have that caboose outside, and you can have different restaurants where you have your fried fish. I don't know if you can get grouper, if you have your salt grouper. And you can, my mind is going crazy right now. But you guys are on the money. You are guys, but that will take possibly a private-public partnership. I think it's an excellent idea to create this village that is depicting who we are as a people. And there you can have your traditional foods and entertainment, and you make that almost like a theme park. But it's all things us. And it's not something that's shut down after the cruise ships leave. This is something that includes even locals. Yes, includes your locals. So this is not just made a tourism product alone, but it is hit that sweet spot that you create the desire, the need for your own locals to go there and hang out because it's so nostalgic. It creates that feeling of wanting to tie back to your childhood. So I think it's a great idea. Thank you guys for suggesting that. That's Denver as well. Thank you for suggesting that. CE Bank says, hi, good evening. It's good to have you joining us again this evening. Andrew says, make sure put in your order early for the donkey because I got to source them from a country in Jamaica, Well, I've done it public. I think I'm going to have to do it because let me tell you, and I don't consider myself going out a lot because I do a lot of stuff here from home. And I just had extra running up and down to do. And of course, you should see me with my bright self, about $65, please, saying, oh, yes, it's not going to take it. And you know what? I did the full up in the night where it's somewhat cooler because, they say that if you go and you fill up your tank in the day when it's really, really hot, that you get you lose. So it's best to do it to fill up your car at night when it's a little cooler. You guys who are into cars, let me know if I'm going crazy here. But I try to do it in the night when it's a little cooler because they say a little bit more value for money. Let's see. Connie says, Auntie, I drive a truck. And when I fill up yesterday, oh Jesus, it was $114 diesel. Remember when diesel, yes, used to be cheaper than gas. Not anymore, honey. Oh my good. But I tell you why I would be pushing her. Oh my goodness, I would dead. You know, my heart really goes out to all of my people who are living in the eastern districts. And then you're sitting there in traffic, idling for sometimes hours, and you're burning, be it or diesel or gas. You're there in traffic. And I could put my mouth on it. But like I say, if it continues going, we're almost at $7. I hear that the little man over in the United States now says he's extended this whole negotiation thing. I don't even read those foolishness because he's like a yo-yo. I'm sorry. But 1 minute he's hot, next minute he's cold. It's like he's got the whole world going up and down, and then the markets are fluctuating. I don't know. It's a circus. It is a real circus. And whether it's by design or what, I don't know why it is, but I'm really hoping that we get some sort of stability because right now it's as though somebody is just taking us all for a joke. And the world is feeling this, and it's not even funny. It's sad. It's depressing. Good evening, caller. You're live on Sabrina Speaks. Welcome.
Good evening. I kind of late, but I catch something about donkey for riding. But I'm telling you one thing. I don't know where I'm going to keep them donkeys, but I better keep them clear of these vicious dogs that run here. Because I can tell you, I had the last donkey that remained on the island. His name was Jack Martinez. He was sold to Pedro St. James. He came from California. He was bought from the Honorable Edna Moore in 1988. And I sold him to Gilbert Conley. The dogs almost killed him where we had him. Then he survived. We had to call the emergency agriculture vet, and he survived. Then when he went Pedro Castle, the police told me that dogs had attacked him out there, and he survived. And then the last day, him to this place down on Linford-Pearson Highway or sold him or whatever way. They have the horses down there, and dog eat him up down there. And he was so bad they had to put him on the.
Oh.
So dogs don't like those donkeys. And he was the prettiest donkey. I could see some little ones in Miami, and they were ugly. I didn't even know what they were seeing. One day when we were crossing this thing with horses and stuff, and I said to my friend, my friend, what an animal is? Then she said, it's un donkey, Shelma. She said, because she was in Nicaragua. And I said, donkey? I said, well, that's an ugly one. I said, because I had the prettiest one. Because Jack was pretty. Spencer had him at his farm. Spencer had the son to him named Sonny. And I had Jack. And because the mother died having another donkey. But he was the prettiest donkey. But dogs don't like donkeys. So I don't know where I'm keep him in a utility room or where. But I'm going to put him and I can tell you one thing. When the hurricane were coming, because my husband said we had the fire rat. And I said, well, the fire rat can come in because we can cover up the washing machine with old sheets and put the cage on top of that. But he said, well, Jack was coming in too. I said, well, no, sir, because I got a 2 foot donkey up, man, and I don't want a 4 foot.
Oh, my God.
And we let him go. We let him go out in the pasture. They say any animal let him go, and we let him go out. And the thing had a big trunk of marl. And let me tell you, I never see animal cry yet, but that donkey was crying. Let me tell you, after he was so pitiful. And then his hoofs, and we had to put him down and get that Canadian healing oil and tie up his hoofs. Because he runs so much water and stuff out there. So, and we nearly eat him up. I tell you, I was crying, but in 3 times, dogs attacked him. And the third time, that was the end of him. He never survived. So I can tell you definitely that dogs do like dogs do like in it was Malinois, it was pit bull, and it was German shepherds out there that morning when they lead him out, because when I heard the thing, the dogs that came to the bathroom, and when I look out to the bathroom, the kitchen window, they were out there at him, they were for
Well,
down
the only reason why we were speaking about the donkey is because of the cost of gas and
But yeah, I catch a little bit of that before,
yeah.
but like I said,
So we gotta
I
start
don't
riding
know.
a donkey now, and because we can't
And
afford the gas.
Wilford had one old one up there, but he had him tied. He was ugly. He had him up by lion center, and we used to ask him what he eating, because where they had him tied with Lone Cliff rocks, and we said, well, he can't eat rocks. He can eat grass, but he can't eat rocks. But mine used to eat wood, cardboard, anything. He had that down one cow pen, and I said, oh my God, how them splinter now. Tell him he was the toughest, but then he couldn't overcome them dogs. Them dogs killed him.
Oh, okay. Sad.
Yeah.
But thank you for sharing that.
When I see Yeah, and my cousin Mickey out Pedro Castle, he used to take care of him. He went and called him about Jack. He changed the name to what? Some name, and I said, well, we sold him a donkey, but we never sold him to change the name. He said, well, that name was Bill Ray grandmother. I said, well, he wasn't for Bill Ray, he was for Shelman. He bought him for me when I went in New York and he went England, and when he called home, all over there, he said he had a present for me. And this was a miniature. We used to ride him to Taco Bell when they had that, but only small people could ride it. We used to ride him to Catholic school when they have stuff to ride. I got pictures with him with Mexican sombrero, Julian on top of him with the Mexican sombrero and everything. I got him in my album, but he was a pretty donkey, beautiful.
Thank you, my Shalma. Leave us there this evening.
And
Thank you so much.
I cried that day. Yes, sir. I cried when they tell us that they had to euthanize him because the dogs had bit him up. I said, oh my God, poor thing. I should have kept him. We couldn't handle him after he got sick. But he used to go down the road, and one day I went down and he was down by one cow, and he didn't want to come out. Mr. Albert tell me, they were laughing at me because when he take off, the rope wrapped around my hand, and I said, you can't make me get my fingers or my wrist cut off. I said, this is too much to get rid of him. And I tried to sell him to Turtle Farm, but they say they couldn't handle such an animal. So then Gilbert come one day and said, well, he heard I had a donkey sitting there, so he bought him from me, but he never gave me what I want for him neither. But I sold him.
Thank you for sharing that.
He came along for Bill Ray, but it's not Bill Ray donkey, it's Shalmadine donkey. So you gotta check me. I'm the boss.
Thank you, my love. Thank you. Leave us there. Take care.
Yes, ma'am.
Always good.
And I want to show happy birthday to my good friend KK. We used to call her Pluta. Tell them today was her birthday. I told somebody that today was her birthday. And they said, no, I thought it was the other day. I said, today's her birthday. And when I know, because some people you can't tell them nothing, they head hard. If they're not the first to know things, they don't want to know that you know it. And I know two people in the island like that, but I don't worry about them because what I know, I know.
Love you lots.
I don't talk what I don't know.
Thank you, my love. Take care.
Yes, ma'am. You too.
All right. One and only Miss Shalma. Gotta love her. Gotta love her. She's back. She's back. Andrew is saying here, government bought the land by the sea across from Kirk Supermarket. What's happening with that? I guess maybe their question being asked here, an update on that can be given in the next sitting of the sitting. So let's see. There's a question for you guys out there who are listening or elected arm. What is the latest on the land that government purchased across from Kirk Supermarket and Trisha's Roses there? Denver is saying, exactly, Damien Charles, if properly done, showcasing the traditional life back in the day in Cayman, caboose cooking, showcasing the way we cook food, the preparation, the way we dress, and small church for marriages. There is so much that can be done, not necessarily on that site if the two are connected, but definitely at a safe location. That would be Denver, you full of ideas this evening. Oh my goodness, these are excellent ideas. Connie says, get me one of them donkeys, please. I don't want the hybrid one. So look here, Andrew, you getting some orders this evening for these donkeys. She don't want no hybrid. She wants a traditional, and I guess she's not too particular whether or not it's a pretty donkey or an uncle donkey. A donkey is a donkey, as long as we don't have to pay by diesel or gas. Denver is saying entry fees, still talking about the idea for this village. Entry fees and permissions to get married could probably subsidize the expenses of our elders working there and make a nice profit. Okay, so Connie was telling me it's best to buy the gas early mornings where the ground is cool. But okay, yes, because all day it's heat. Totally makes sense. Totally makes sense. Thanks for sharing that. And Andrew is also weighing in on that. Yeah, the hotter it is, the heat and evaporation, you lose a slight amount of gasoline. So see, I wasn't completely off, but the early morning thing makes sense. Yeah, because by then the ground would have had time to cool. You said in the evening, the sun is still hot on the ground. You are quite right. Denver, I think you were alluding to what's happening in the US. And 1 minute, this flip-flop thing. Politics by design is what Denver is saying. Damian Henry says Trump's at the andropause stage. No, man, I think he would pass that. You something else, at least you remember. Andrew Campbell saying the next thing is possible, rationing the amount of gas, diesel, if supply chain should be disrupted because of the events taking place. Guyana that produced crude has long queues at gas station, harsh reality ahead. Yes, and we reported on that in one of our news segments the other day, and they're still, can you imagine? They actually produce how much billions or millions of barrels. And they are actually having long queues. Good evening, caller.
Good evening, Miss Sabrina and Cayman. How are you this evening?
We're fine, thank you. About to wind down.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Yes. Remember the rumor for the $7 gas? Well, it's here. It's what happens when things happen.
Mm-hmm.
My advice to anyone who wants to save or who wants to try to cut back, when you go out to run your errands, make sure you do if you can in the morning or afternoon. Make sure you do them all one time if you possibly can to try to save some gasoline.
Mm-hmm.
This is where now we see. Remember a couple of years ago, one of the MPs, I think it was Mr. Bryan, had went to Barbados. I think it was to look at their public transport system.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The government really needs to take a serious look now at the public transport system and push it and bring it through, because as we see what we have here now, we have the price of gas is gone and what's gone high sky on the world market. Cayman cannot control it. We import everything.
Mm-hmm.
We don't produce oil or oil products.
Mm-hmm.
So we are caught in a crossroad that we cannot get out of. And if we had a proper, running, fixed, decent, comfortable transport system with buses in place, with shelters in place, with big enough public transport depots or whatever in the major district, with a big enough parking lot to hold cars, to take them off of the road every day, with the feeder buses in the districts and then the bigger ones going into town, we would be where we are. We wouldn't have a problem today with someone saying, oh my God, I cannot afford to fill up my car. What am I going to do? I got to get to work.
Mm-hmm.
This is the problem we find ourselves in now. We don't have a running transport system that is workable right now.
Mm-hmm.
And the government has to push it. And I think the people of this country need to push it, because we do not have a backup system when gasoline and diesel go up. We don't have anything. So,
you buy it or walk.
Everything is going high sky.
Mm-hmm.
I went to the supermarket today. Nothing is staying the same. Prices are increasing because the price of oil is gone where it is. You have the good man over to the north.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't care about nobody. We all in the world have to worry about ourselves right now. In each country, even the Canadian government has come out and given subsidy and dropped gas it's only 4 cents, but it's a help. So the government is going to have to do something here to try to help those consumers and the people living here, the residents, all of us, with some kind of little help as lowering price on something. Something has to be lowered. And the push has to be for renewables, which is, I keep preaching this, sunshine shines there nearly 365 days out of the year in some shape or form. Why are we not harnessing it? Why don't we have it on our roofs? On every house that is built should be stipulated. Solar power should be there. And the banks need to do their part. They need to offer consumer loans that they can afford. So that's my take on it. But Cayman, my advice to everyone is buckle down. Hurricane season is coming. If you use something in the supermarket weekly that you can buy a couple of them before prices go high sky, try to stock up on what you can before the prices go up, because it's real, it's going up every day, and there's nothing we can do about it. All we can do is try to weather this storm. It's the same way as COVID. This is a different kind of COVID, but it's worldwide also. So we all have to do our part to try to cut back. And if we don't need to burn electricity, shouldn't be in a room without things burning, you know, fans should be cut off, lights should be cut off if you're not in your room. Just do the simple things at home. Get your children to do that. Try to lower it, because believe you me, summer is here. We do not have a spring this year. This is summer.
Yeah, it's
and
already,
you can imagine what the heat content is going to be.
But remember, the forecast is for a heat wave. Yeah, we are going to have the hottest temperatures is being forecasted in how much years?
We are.
So yeah, it's going to be a brutal summer.
Yeah, 2023 was the year that was they're measuring this one at, and El Nino is helping the tropical development, but El Nino is not helping the Caribbean basin. It is heating the Caribbean basin, so we still have to be on alert for these storms. I'm sorry, it's what it is, but we all have to do our part. The government needs to come out and do something and address the rise in prices here, because there is something they can do.
Yeah. Well, let's see. There's a private member's motion that is asking for something similar that what took place in 2023 be considered by this government, and whether or not there's another one as well where the duty fees are actually zeroed out. We don't know. That is should be before Parliament. Let's see what those private members' motions will yield. But to say somebody has to pay it no matter what. Which is why I am saying, caller, it is good for us to try and adjust our sales accordingly and trying to help ourselves, because the demand is going to be there, and it is something. But we really need to do our part individually in order to help everybody at the end of the day.
Everybody else, because you know, if you don't need to burn your AC in the day,
don't do it.
Don't burn it.
Don't do it.
Cut it down to 79. Just don't do it, you know. I mean, just don't.
And those people, we know that people have an issue that their temperatures need to be because of medical reasons. Well, yes, they have to brace for it. Yeah. So, but we understand that.
You know, but it's just, it's where it is. And tomorrow's another conversation, but thank you for having it.
Thank you.
We need to have it. And we need to have more of this right now. And I hope that, the government is listening, because we need the public needs some kind of help somewhere, even if it's just from duty on fuel or something. Some little thing has to be done, because every other country, Canada is helping their citizens, and the whole world is helping.
Even the UK, I think they said something about weekends where they're encouraging people to wash on the weekends, and then they will actually try to give them a credit or no utility use, because they'll see a spike in the usage. So but let's see.
Let's see what happens. But we hope for the best, and we weather the storm all together, because we're all in it. So tomorrow's another day. Thank you always,
Thank you,
Sabrina.
Thank you.
You have a wonderful evening.
Likewise, my dear. Always good for your participation.
God bless.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. There we have it, ladies and gentlemen. We've come to the end of Sabrina Speaks, and I know we've had some very good comments coming here, and I want to make sure we try to do our best to read all of them. Damien said, some UK gas stations are now reporting that individuals are filling up and drying off without paying. It's starting to get crazy out here. That's what they're reporting out of the UK. Andrew is saying, we are forced to decide whether to buy food for my family or buy gas to put in my vehicle to get to work or do errands. Damien Charles is saying, research the UK and who was backing the regime in Iran for making profits with insurance. And Miss Anita is saying she's worried about our AC bills during the upcoming summer months. You and so much more, Miss Anita. Let me tell you, my heart's in my mouth. Denver says, don't forget, there's a maintenance price to pay for solar and batteries to store electricity. And then we see where Damien Charles is having a question here. Will CUC cut fuel rates on diesel? And this is where private-public partnership come in. And let's see what's going to happen with that private members motion that is going to be put forward by members from the opposition. Damien Charles is saying, then will the wholesalers and retailers pass that savings on or just keep it as more gross and net profits? That's the balance. We're hoping that we're all weathering this together, that if any breaks and stuff is done, that we at the other end, the receiving end, will actually reap those benefits. Connie is saying my AC stays at 80 daily. Yes, I have been pushing mine up as well to 80, and I no longer like blare open the curtains, especially on the side where the sun comes in. I try to keep those all closed to see, that I can avoid letting in all of the heat from outside. By keeping the curtains drawn and the blinds closed, it helps, to be honest with you. And because it's pretty much, not opening. I don't have small kids. So the opening of the doors and stuff for the areas that the AC is on, I don't have that amount of traffic. So I'm doing all I can. I've even changed my laundry days. Even though my dryer is propane and all that sort of stuff, there's still electricity that is being used at some point in time. And there's just certain modifications that I'm doing. As soon as I'm done, this place is going to go dark because I got to use extra lights so that I can come across crisp to you. But it all takes, this is usage, and you will see the spike this time of the evening for 2 hours because of the amount of energy that these additional lights that I have in the studio pull so that I can give you a clean image. So this is my job. This is what I do. There's just certain things that I cut back on to try and compensate. I think we should all do our part. But tomorrow is another day, as the last caller stated. More conversations. We'll look into what that Auditor General's press release means to us. We'll take a look at the immigration regulations as well. That's these regulations that are coming into force now as of the 1st of May, and what it means for you. So please tell a friend. Tune in. We want your participation. The regulations are now out. We didn't hear about them. We didn't see them. Now they're out. So we're going to break it down in layman's terms, what it means from the temporary work permit, from the protection of for the sham marriages and all that sort of stuff, all of the different fees. What is it going to cost you now for reentry stamps, the filing fees and all that sort of stuff, how much it's going to cost you should you want to do an appeal of a refusal from, let's say, a permanent residence or any application like that. These fees have gone up. So, and there are certain organizations as well that has gotten some waivers where there's no fees. Yeah. So it's outlined there in the regulations. You're like, what do you mean? We're still giving something like a concession? You be the judge of that tomorrow. You got to tune in to Sabrina Speaks tomorrow for more as we unpack in a synopsis format the new regulations that are going to come into force on the 1st of May. Please do have a safe evening. Thank you for all of your commentary. Thank you for your participation. Thanks to the Ministry of Youth, Sports, Culture and Heritage for launching our celebration month, the entire month of May, as we celebrate our culture. And please remember about this. Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture we're going to be promoting this and along a lot of other events. This gospel concert, it's going to take place on the 2nd of May. It's free of charge. as they present threads of our traditions here. And we're going to be celebrating this for the entire month of May. Please be safe. God bless. And you know I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Love you lots. See you tomorrow.
That's a wrap for today's edition of Sabrina Speaks. Thank you for tuning in and for being part of the conversation. Remember, the dialogue doesn't stop here. Stay engaged, stay informed, and most importantly, stay empowered. We'll be back tomorrow at 5 p.m., same time, same place, right here on CMR TV and radio, where your voice matters and your truth is heard. Until then, Cayman, take care of yourself and each other.
That's it for today's edition of Sabrina Speaks, where your voice matters, your story counts, and your truth is always welcome. Join us weekdays from 5 until 6:30 p.m. right here on CMR TV as we dive into the topics that matter most to you. Catch the show live or on demand at cmrtv.com. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram so you never miss a moment. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and always speak your truth.